Let's get in some expert perspective. Meeta Shetty joins in from Kotak Securities. We have Sarabjit Kour Nangra of Angel Broking as well. Meeta, I wanted to get in your thoughts. Margins have come in at 30.4%, but the standout number for Lupin this quarter would be the PAT performance at 882, largely on account of the higher other income and the lower tax rate. Your call?
Yes, absolutely. So, top line is slightly lower than what we were looking at, although we don't have the breakup into the US and domestic numbers. But primarily, I believe US should have been good because we had this exclusivity which was there for the entire quarter, last quarter, So, definitely it was on expected lines that, numbers would be pretty good. And yes, of course, as you said, other income definitely is high as well as tax rate. One more thing to point out is the employee cost. So, obviously, because of Davis, we were expecting some bit of increase, but it looks slightly more higher than what we were looking at. So, it's coming at about 706 odd crores, which is a percentage to sales terms is coming at 16.4, whereas in the past, average has been around 14.5 odd for Lupin.
Sarabjit, my question for you is the fact that, okay, we've seen the results that have come in, we don't have the breakup, but now, realistically speaking, what a lot has been said is that, the Glumitza exclusivity is out, there is issues as far as Fortimet is concerned, because in some time that exclusivity will also be out. So, in a way, would you say that, the best for Lupin, at least for the next few quarters, is behind them now?
In terms of approval, because approval rate has to increase. I don't know what kind of approvals they've got for the quarter, but in terms of major hike that you've seen this kind quarter, then yeah, that kind of will be difficult. Then again, the acquisition that they have done will have an impact on their margin as it had this quarter. Because in spite of the good performance from these products, it's their employee cost which has gone up because of acquisition, which has taken a toll in the margin. So with the key products out of the picture and acquisition just playing around, and Indian markets for this year at least looks a bit of a dicey picture for most of the industry players. So I guess we have to look forward to next year in terms of Lupin delivering something different from what it's done this year.
Praful, let's get in Praful. He's the farm analyst at Religare. Hi Praful, thanks for joining in. What do you make of the future for Lupin? Because the numbers are out. It's if you've taken a look at the number, the breakup is not there. But what products does Lupin finally have in its armor right now that at least for the next few quarters they can actually tide over? Because do you believe that the Glumitza opportunity still is an opportunity for Lupin and Fortimet will still remain strong for the company?
So I think in case of Glumitza, we have seen incremental competition from Sun Pharma, and probably we're expecting Teva should get an approval very soon. In case of, this would be in the case of Glumitza. In the case of Fortimet, I think Mylan has an approval, but they have not launched the product yet. So probably, we may see some future competition coming in from Mylan in the, whenever they launch it. Having said that, I think for the next couple of quarters, the earnings trajectory should not be very strong. I think this would probably be the peak quarter in terms of earnings for the next, a couple of years. In the fourth quarter or probably in the first quarter of next year, they will have a couple of products like Renigal, Renvela, Velcol, which may probably, fill in some of the gap. But I think, that said, I think this would be probably the peak quarter.
Praful, let's say that Mylan, you say that Mylan has the approval. Let's say they launch it because they already have negotiated with the innovator. How much of an EPS impact will them losing Mylan launching Fortimet have on Lupin?
See, this would depend on a lot of things, because at what price Mylan launches, at what discount to Lupin, and probably what market share they're able to take. But I think that said, the key to note here is that these two products, Glumitza and Fortimet, are almost more than 40% of the profits. So I think the impact would be pretty significant, whenever they launch it.
I just want to get you in also in this, but the press conference will happen very soon. What are the key triggers, what are the key points that you would want to ask the Lupin management in terms of this performance and the outlook going ahead? Meeta, that was for you.
Yes. So obviously, particularly on the competition, how it's building up, what the price, how the price is moving for Glumitza, particularly after the competition coming in. And also on Gavis, because Gavis still is at about 30 million run rate for quarters, and that is where we were, the management is talking about going it up by about 3 to 4x in the next course of 2 years or so. So a lot of clarity on those fronts, and of course the plans, because Goa, although they've got an EIR for a past inspection, we still need to have clarity on the current pending issues which are lingering on.
See, Meeta made a good point in terms of Gavis. If you look at the IMS data that has come out, Gavis isn't doing the best, that the street was anticipating. What is your outlook for Gavis, and do you believe that Lupin has properly managed to consolidate Gavis into itself?
Well, I believe it's not, we still have a long way to go, because we still have to see the benefits flowing in. It's just been a quarter or two where we are, actually seeing the numbers getting consolidated. And the approvals though have come in, but we haven't seen the traction building up yet in Lupin's consolidated revenue. So I think it's too early to comment whether they've already done a good job or no. But I believe the portfolio looks interesting, so there could be some positive surprises.
Praful, same question to you. Do you believe that Lupin has managed to consolidate Gavis into itself properly?
So I think there is no issue with consolidation. What I think probably where there can be a miss is on the expectations from Gavis. I think Lupin had guided for a $300 million revenue from Gavis by FY18. And I think that number may miss depending on how the FDA approval traction goes on. So far we have not seen much traction in approvals for Gavis. I think so. If the approvals do not pick up, then probably there can be a miss on that number.
Sarabjit, what is the key trigger now that you're looking out for Lupin in the next 2 quarters?
See, it's mainly approvals, and definitely I think India doing better going forward next year. So these are the only main triggers I think that Lupin has to deliver good performance going forward, and Gavis doing as robustly as expected, because that's one no issue US business that they have right now. So in terms of US also, their properties are now kind of approved, so it shouldn't be an issue, but I guess in terms of approvals that needs to speed up. So I guess that's the only issue that they have. So it's mainly approvals. I think that will be the key.
Okay, that's the take then coming in Lupin. Thank all the analysts who have joined in to analyze Lupin's numbers, Praful, Meeta as well as Sarabjit. Lupin in the meantime has really been all over the place.